Integrity and intention. Okay, I'm recording this while driving, hands-free. I'm just talking to myself. I am safely driving instead of walking, as I usually am when I record these 75 Hard podcasts. So I actually said I was going to do this podcast and didn't record it. And life just got in the way, but I've been getting a lot of questions on my Instagram and being texted to me of like, when is that podcast coming out? You failed. Talk about it. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, go back and listen to the other 75 Hard Challenge episodes. There's a few of them. You will see them. There's about 3-ish. And today I'm talking about how I failed the 75 Hard Challenge, but I started again. So I'm on like day 10. And I will tell you, going into this whole process, I had a fear of failure, right? How many of you have had a fear of failure? Like, what if I fail? What if I fail? So you don't even try. And then perfectionism kicks in, and then you stay stuck in this loop of just, I'm so stuck. I need the clarity. I don't know what I want in my life. And then someone's like, well, do this. Oh, I can't do that. What if I fail? Right? And so you don't take action and you're just paralyzed. Your body is in like fight or flight or freeze, and you just don't do anything. So I decided that, okay, I'm going to do this challenge. I'm going to make myself publicly accountable. I'm going to actually do it with some clients. So we have like an accountability group going on, and I'm just going to show up, and that scared the crap out of me. And so I showed up, I did it. At the beginning, felt really hard, air quotes, emotionally uncomfortable, felt, all my stories came up. This is restrictive. Why am I doing this? Blah, blah, blah. So go listen to the other episodes so that you get like the full effect of what I'm talking about. And then around day 40, I even went away with girlfriends who drink and I don't drink. And I was like, oh, this is going to get me in. This is going to get me in. And it didn't. I showed up as myself. I did my thing. And to be honest, I feel amazing. I feel completely alive, habits, routine, magic, all of this. And I can tell that a lot of the work that I do and teach people has been integrated into this concept of not putting the pressure on myself, showing up, doing this in alignment with how I want to feel, integrating my family, not letting guilt run the show, blah, blah, blah. So what happened? Okay. So I was actually reflecting on this, and I thought I failed, like circling back, I thought I failed because I missed a workout for some reason. I was like, oh yeah, I remember I failed because I did a workout. Now, that's not even what happened. So it's hilarious how the brain tells you other stories when that wasn't even reality or the truth. So think about that when you are projecting living in the past or living in the future around maybe an experience you had with somebody. You're like, oh yeah, that person was so mean. And then you realize, no, that person was just really anxious and an introvert. And so, they find it really uncomfortable to like reach out to people. So it's not that they like weren't talking to you anymore. They just have social anxiety, or maybe there's depression or like a family trauma. And so we're constantly telling ourselves stories that are not even true, which cause the reality of our life, right? And then we wonder why we're depressed, anxious, overwhelmed, burnt out. So anyways, looking back, I was like, okay, how did I actually fail? So I failed because I ate these damn chips, okay? So my food rule was I could eat whatever I want. So I eat a macro-based, I just eat macro-based. It works for me, but I've done a lot of mindset stuff around it. I've done a lot of inner healing. I don't feel like our relationship with food is ever completely complete. It's a constant ebb and flow, but it really works for me. It saves me time. It saves me energy. I don't get decision fatigue, but I'm also, what my food rule was, I won't be restrictive. And if I have like a bite of cake or chips or something like that, like I haven't failed the 75 Hard Challenge, because I said I will not get an eating disorder, doing this damn challenge. So that's kind of like fluid, right? That's really fluid. So one night around day 37, 38, I had chips. And I guess what my food rule was no food shame. So I wasn't allowed to hide food, meaning like not telling somebody else about it. Like I'm not going to drive somewhere, eat, get rid of the evidence. I can't do that, like, because that's shame and that's hiding. And I'm like, I'm not going to hide. So I had chips one night, like a full blown bag of chips. And I think I was around my monthly cycle. So I knew that, I have to be extra mindful during that time because I'm going to my hormones are doing their thing. And I had chips, whatever. And I was like, okay, this is fine. I put it on my macros. I told my coach. I actually felt okay about it. I was like, this is great. This is intuitive eating. Like, I'm good. And to me, consciously, it wasn't, this is about integrity, right? So to me, consciously, I was like, even if I was like trying to convince myself that I didn't cheat, I felt good. Like I legit felt good about it. I was like, who effing cares? There's no fear. There's no guilt. There's no shame around this. Therefore, that is in alignment. And therefore, that is a win. To me, the next day, I did the same thing and I ate a large bag of chips. Again, not going to die, right? Trying to tell you ladies this, not going to die. But the next morning, I woke up and I had shame. I had this feeling of like, you shouldn't have did that, Heather. And I know that when I have that feeling, I'm out of alignment, and the action that I took was out of integrity. Out of integrity. And so that's what I considered a failure. The beauty of this is I still did my 2 workouts. I still did everything else, still drank the water, still read, blah, 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 right? Didn't drink alcohol. And I looked at my husband and I said, and he doesn't care. Like, he doesn't care what I eat. He's not like sitting there yelling at me like, are you doing this? Are you doing that? He's just like, whatever. And I looked at him and I said, I have to restart. I was like literally on day 40. And he goes, why? I said, I literally feel like I'm doing the walk of shame this morning because of that food, like the chips that I binged on last night. So the night before, it was in alignment. That was not. And he goes, wow, I respect that. He goes, that's integrity. And for one moment, I had this feeling of disappointment. Never did I feel like, oh, I'm just gonna do it, and I'm just gonna tell everybody that I did it and let them think that I am still doing this challenge the way that it's supposed to be done. Because I try to be a person of integrity. I try to be a professional of integrity and a coach. And I know that there's a lot of lack of integrity out there. And I would never, ever, 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 ever want to hire somebody who lives out of integrity, like doesn't practice what they preach. And I would never, I would be so wildly disappointed if I saw that somebody was putting on a fake facade. There's so much bullshit out there. No, never, ever, ever would I do that. It's just not in my bones. So that was not in me of like, oh, I'll just say that I did it. That there wasn't even an ounce of that in me. And so I decided that like I was actually disappointed in myself, right? I was feeling that disappointment and I was like, that's okay. It didn't last long because I said to myself, I coached myself. I was like, listen, have you failed? Like, have you actually failed? And the answer was no. No, I didn't because I haven't given up. I'm like, start again, start again, start again. My worth and my value and my success or my integrity has nothing to do with the number. 75 days, like what am I going to do on the 76th day decide that, oh yeah, like I feel amazing and I feel great and my habits have changed and my lifestyle has changed. So now I'm going to undo it all and feel like shit. Like why? Why would I do that? Right? Maybe I can reassess and adjust, but like, why would I do that? Because these habits are sustainable. because I've made them sustainable. I've integrated them into my life. But it's taken me a while to get here because I've had to develop other habits in order to habit stack these habits. And 2 years ago, if you would have said to me that I would be where I'm at right now, I would have told you you were a liar. I would have said there's no effing way. I wouldn't have even been able to consider it. And so the thought of me getting to where I am, the leader that I am, the businesswoman that I am, the mother that I am, the human that I am, with tiny, tiny, tiny habits and stacking them and working through the mental resistance and hiring the support that I need to become the woman and the human and the mother and the wife and the business owner and blah, blah, blah that I desire to be, I would have said you were crazy. Because it is blowing my mind that you can change your life by tiny habits, because we've been conditioned to believe through marketing, through quick fix, through silver bullets, through diet, through all or nothing thinking, through, having to prove ourselves to other people, that if it's not all or nothing, if it's not perfect, if it's not overnight, that we have failed. We have failed. And the truth is, I didn't really fail because I haven't given up yet. I had a setback and I had to start the clock again, but who cares? Like, if I'm in it for life, does it really matter if it's 75 days? Because I have way more, hopefully, than 75 days to live. So here's my frickin' point. I failed. I started again. And I am so fucking proud of myself. I am so proud of myself because of the level of integrity I am keeping with myself. I am so proud of myself for the 40 plus, now 50 days that I have been at this, mastering, developing consistent habits imperfectly. I am so proud of myself for facing my fear, for facing my guilt, for facing my resistance, for facing my fear of judgment, being around other people who don't hold the same habits as I do. So many fears, so many uncertainties, for getting up. And I've watched my brain and my mind dip down, and I've watched myself come back up super quick. So, and I'm also so happy that you're listening. And I wanted to say that, today is also hopefully an example for you that, you may even be thinking heck, there's probably two types of people. One is oh my gosh, I'm so inspired. I've done the challenge, or I'm doing the challenge. I totally get it. You're in it. You feel it. And then the other type of person might be I wish I could get there. And so it doesn't matter where you are. You have to start where you're at. I did not get to where I am today because one day I just woke up and magic happened. I started with small habits, writing one line a day in a journal, and then walking for 5 minutes a day. And in my head, I was like, this is stupid. Nothing's changing. And then there was habits of all the other things, opening my bank accounts, looking at money, putting myself out there in business, tiny, tiny, tiny things. They stack on top of each other. And then one day you wake up and you're like, holy F, how did I get here? Same concept when I wrote the book. Everything is the same. And yes, there's spiritual components. Yes, there's physical, mental, emotional, all of these things. But you can fucking do it. There's no reason why you can't. So that brings me to some magical shit that I have coming up for you. And the first thing is we are doing our Why Not You challenge. It literally goes right into this, which is, why not you? Why can't you do this? Why can't you create the life that you want? Why can't you stop yelling? Why can't you create deeper relationships with your children? Why can't you have that revenue breakthrough that you want at work or in your business? Why can't you find purpose? When you're discounting yourself and you're telling yourself, I can't do this, you will never achieve it. And I want to prove it to you. That's literally my life mission, is proving it to you. So we're doing this live in December 6th, 2021. And it's going to be 4 days, and we're going to do the work together. And when you register, it's $97. When you register, you are going to get immediate download to some amazing resources that I've only shared inside of my actual coaching programs. So this is a taste of coaching with me. But we're doing the work together. You're not just listening to me talk. I'm giving you the step-by-step on how to do the work, and it's a challenge for a reason. So every day we're going to have action steps for you. You're going to be joining the community, so you're going to connect with other women. It's going to be magical, and I'm gifting it to you. Yes, gifting it to you for $97. Because my goal is by the end, you have hope. Like hope and possibility that change is possible for you. So all you have to do to register is go to heatherchauvin.com/my challenge. heatherchauvin.com/my challenge. Or if you want to text me, you can, and I will send you the link as well. So text the word why. 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 And then you're going to text the word why to 313-710-5199. So if you prefer to text me to get the information, you can. 313-710-5199. Text the word why. Let's make magic happen.